Greetings, pro wrestling fans, and thank you for joining us at the Pro Wrestling Look Back podcast. I'm Nick, and I'm sitting here with...
Yeah, sorry to disappoint you, but Whiskey Don is once again back in the house.
I think that's his third appearance.
Yeah.
Maybe only the second on the round table, but...
But he is here.
He's here.
He's on that maple.
He's not the only one here.
Yeah, we got a guest with us today.
A new guest.
Hello.
What's your name, sir?
My name, it is Will.
Will. Will's in... First time joining the PW Look Back for Roundtable. Shout out to Mike for introducing us to Will.
Yeah.
Friend of work. You know, and shout out to Mike in general. You're a beauty.
These guys over here taking my podcast V-card.
Yeah, there you go. First one. But yeah, we'll get some thoughts from Will in a sec. But don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Twitter, guys, at PW Look Back. Give us a follow. Subscribe on YouTube, Pro Wrestling Look Back. Send us an email, prowrestlinglookback@gmail.com. And yeah, like I said, YouTube's the main one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that little bell. Apparently that's a thing, like I've been saying.
Yeah.
Hit the bell. Yeah. Give me a follow, too, on Twitter. At Salsa, SCELSA, Star Wars, Formula 1, and lots of pro wrestling.
And my Twitter is at New School Money. And don't forget to follow my boy Younger as well. Shout out to him.
Shout out to Younger, at ZJVY93.
I guess I give mine now?
Yeah, give your Twitter there, Will. This is how it's all you.
My
Shameless
Twitter.
plug.
Yeah.
At lateral G, LATEREL, capital G.
Beauty. It's good. I don't know if I said it yet, but this is the Roundtable, episode 14.
Oh, and 4 is my favorite number, so...
Yeah, well, you forgot to say it on 4.
Well, I got to do it here then.
He's doing it from now on. It's going to be like that.
My next chance is 44, so fuck.
No, you'll be, 24, 34?
Yeah, but 44 is like the double 4.
But then you have like all of 40s.
There you go.
I'm running that shit. I might be hosting those ones, guys.
Stay tuned for, I don't know, what's that going to be, like mid-2019?
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, thanks for checking out the show, guys. We're going to just talk pro wrestling like we always do once a week here, usually about an hour. We'll see how that goes, but I don't know. I wanted to talk again. We talked last week. We started the show a little bit about this all elite wrestling and kind of the Bullet Club. I don't know what you call them now. I guess the elite guys.
Yeah.
And the purchasing of their trademark. Wanted to shout out Will. Will was the one who kind of gave me the information on that before the show last week, so that was good.
I have my sources.
Yeah. Shout out to him. But yeah, I just wanted to get your thoughts kind of on the whole situation. We provided what we think last week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much, I don't know if you got a chance to check out the show, but we talked a little bit about the fact that it could be a red herring in the sense that maybe this is all being done just to fool people. When they show up in WWE, it's like, oh my God. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That could be yours. It could be not be, but
that's an interesting way of looking at it. I wouldn't rule it out of being a possibility. But that being said, I don't think you file trademarks in relation to the 22nd or 200 richest man in the world. A man who is double the amount of money Vince McMahon has.
Yeah.
With something just the purpose of being fake.
No. I hear you. And that's, you're not wrong. Cause I, as far as I know, I think Younger knew more about this guy than we did last week. The Khan, right? Mr. Khan.
Yeah, I remember you guys.
I don't know his first name.
Briefly talking.
Reminds me of Jungle Book, Shah Khan. But that's all I can think of when I hear Mr. Khan. But, and that's a bit of a shady name.
So this guy is helping them?
Well, yeah, so he's the son of the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and then a Premier League football team, which I can't remember as well.
I think it was Manchester. I think. Don't quote me
not
on that.
Yeah, not United. I
think it was
maybe? I don't know.
Something.
Either way, he's an owner of sports teams, very wealthy. You know, he knows how to run a business, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's they whatever they're doing, whatever they're planning, they've got money behind them. If this is the person that's backing them, like we talked about last week, whether it's a TV show or it's like a weekly TV show or a once a month pay-per-view kind of thing. I don't really know what they're gonna do. Do you guys see them creating championships and having a whole promotion? I feel like that's not really their thing.
Yeah, I've said a few times. I just for me it's too early to make any.
Of course.
Full, call.
Yeah. It's all just speculation and hearsay at this point.
I seen something today. I don't know when it came out, but it was a Cody Rhodes tweet of him asking about if anyone knows any who are the hottest wrestlers unsigned anywhere or something.
Oh, okay.
So he's obviously toying with whether he's
And now that you say that,
just to fake people out or
I saw him tweet something last week about who would you guys want to see me have a dream match with?
That too. Yeah,
I seen that, which is I guess you're right. He's just kind of playing the field and seeing what people are interested in.
Yeah.
There was something that you brought up to us before we hit record.
Yes.
Why don't you dive into that a little bit about Cody?
Well, during a meet and greet in Melbourne, Australia, someone asked Cody about the promotion that was starting up in January. Said that, stay tuned. Apparently, there's going to be a big announcement coming in January, and no one's going to see it coming.
Huh. That's what I mean. What do they got planned? I'm curious, and it's whether it's competition or, I mean, obviously it's not going to be a straight competitor to WWE quotes, but.
No.
Is this going to be like Super PWG? Is this going to be competing with maybe NXT?
Got an idea.
Or is this going to be like ROH's Big Brother? Like, what is this?
Maybe Cody wants to fight Goldust and winner take all.
Double or nothing, man.
That's the big announcement, guys.
That's quite the...
That's the big announcement. Winner takes the name.
All in on the gold dust.
I don't even know what to say to that, to be completely honest. I gotta talk. I wish we had video here for my facial reactions.
You wouldn't be chomping at the bit for that one?
Not now, no.
Yeah.
No, not particularly.
I'm just having fun.
Yeah, fair enough. But I don't know. I don't know where you guys want to go from here as far as this stuff goes.
Well, not on the topic of this stuff, but maybe it's kind of a thing we do here when we get a new guest on the show.
Yeah, we haven't got a chance to get into that.
Yeah,
so I'm happy that you brought that full circle, because I did want to talk about that before we dove in, but I was also very eager to get Will's thoughts on this all elite wrestling. But yeah, Will, new guest to the show. We've done it every time, I think, maybe other than Tanner, because he's kind of the casual fan and it wouldn't really make much sense to get his favorite matches. But go back and check out ours, episode 1, and Jags in episode 3. But yeah, they're out there. Yeah. What are your kind of matches that stand out to you from the time you've been watching wrestling, Will? Maybe doesn't necessarily have to be the best barn burner match you've seen, but it's just stuff that sticks in your memory that's like, I remember that match. I'd go back and watch that a second time, or wrestlers maybe.
Well, I can tell you 2 matches off the top of my head that are probably vying for 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. One match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Sami Zayn at NXT.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember the place.
Great
but I know
fucking choice, man. Great fucking choice.
Oh, it was a barn burner. The story behind that match was the guys backstage, one of those 2 guys get in the ring with each other before the match, feel each other out.
Yeah.
They both said no.
They let it all play out in the ring.
Yeah, we're just gonna do it in the ring, and they did it, and they burned the fucking house down.
Yeah. That might be one of the best matches of the last since I got back into watching wrestling. I'd put that up there with my Sasha Bailey. I still think that's one of my favorites. But yeah, great choice. Total random shout out to a buddy that I don't really see anymore, but my buddy Zach Glaspel. Not that he's listening. I remember watching that match. He was here. He's even more of a casual fan than Tanner. I remember him turning to all of us and being like, this is fucking awesome. And this guy doesn't watch wrestling. He is a 100% sports person. You know what I mean? Like athletic competition, not simulated competition. So I don't know. For someone like that to turn to all of us wrestling fans and say, this is fucking awesome, they were doing something right.
That's what it's all about.
Great choice. Great choice.
My number 2 might not come as a surprise. It might. Cruiserweight Classic. Cedric Alexander versus Kota Ibushi.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
that's wicked.
Fuck, that was the thank you Cedric, right? Or please sign Cedric.
Yeah.
At the end of the match.
That was it.
That was a good match.
It was a good fucking
so
tournament.
Good.
That final was pretty good too, though. No, with TJP and Kota.
Yeah.
Did I say it on this show?
I don't know.
Like I did.
Maybe.
Just man. Well, you watched the tournament too, Will, obviously.
Yeah, just mainly more popular matches, but yeah.
I was telling Nick, I don't know if it was on air or off air, but just I remember I don't remember the last time I've watched a wrestling match, and it's very rare that I'll buy into the sense where it's you kind of have an idea who's going to win, who's going to lose type of thing going into a match. Sometimes when they can get me and I'm sitting on the edge of my seat, it was Kota and TJ going into the finals. I was rooting for Kota Ibushi. I thought he was going.
Yeah.
And when the 3 hit, my jaw literally dropped.
Deflated.
It was fucked up.
I remember
I bought in completely.
Yeah, I bought in. I was just the opposite. I remember picking TJ
Yes, yeah.
And
He was
like,
the guy,
yeah, like
Yeah.
I picked TJ from, but I wasn't as like, I didn't know these guys. You know, I didn't even know who Kota Ibushi was going into that tournament. So like, I saw TJ and I'm like, I kind of like this guy. I also, honestly, and I'm not just fucking saying this, I picked Tyler Bate too. When I saw that,
he did.
when I saw him for the first time, I was like, yo, this guy, I want him to win.
Yeah.
And that's another, not that we're talking about my favorite matches, but that's a really good match, is that Tyler Bate, their first match. I mean, I know their second one's kind of the one everyone talks about, and I actually think that's the match that Younger said when we did this
that was
about
one of his matches,
our favorite matches.
Okay.
That was one of his, was the rematch, I guess. And at the time, that was only 5 months old, maybe, when Younger had said it. So because that was January. But yeah, anyway, so good matches, man.
Oh yeah,
good choices of matches. Any particular wrestlers, like obviously some of those guys, or is there anybody?
Oh yeah, Kota Ibushi's probably like number one on my list.
That's
that
awesome.
dude can have a match with anyone, and it'll be at least like 4 stars and above.
Yeah,
literally anyone. Put him in a ring with Brock Lesnar,
Yeah.
tear the house down.
Yeah, well, hey, it's my boy Brock there. Don't come on. Brock can have a good match with anybody too, right? It's just all comes down to whether it's at Survivor Series. That's when Brock tries, right? His only 2 good matches of the last.
He only tries in the 5 minutes.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was funny though. His last 2 really good matches were both at Survivor Series. Daniel Bryan and AJ. And I mean, it is Daniel Bryan and AJ.
Yeah,
but. It's funny that they were kind of both at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that's Brock. What a guy.
What a guy.
I will say, if I ever train to become a professional wrestler and join the WWE, I want a match with Brock Lesnar. I'll be the dude to go up to Brock Lesnar and say, we're going out there for 30 minutes and getting 5 stars.
Hey, apparently this, and he's slowly, I swear to God, they're putting out these videos on YouTube to turn me into a Matt Riddle fan because I don't like the guy. And I keep saying that I don't like him. And they're like, no, look, he's a good guy. Look, with his wife, kids at home, look. So I don't even remember where I was going, but I think as far as I know, Matt Riddle wants that match. That's something Matt Riddle
He wants to retire Brock Lesnar.
That's what I was just going to say, yeah. I know he wants to retire Brock Lesnar.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's a good, and it's weird. Like I could see.
Be a hell of a story if they built it right.
Oh, yeah.
The 2 UFC guys, like,
fuck. But yeah, I don't know. Are they? I don't want to get too excited for something like that because we're going to talk about Raw later, and fuck me if that's
having a hard time getting excited these days.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I think we'll save a little bit of that for later. I want to stick with this. Well, stay away from Raw and SmackDown for now. Let's go into NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk a little bit about NXT and different stuff. I have different topics. We can go kind of anywhere you guys want, but let's start with third brand discussion.
Yeah.
Where do we see NXT going in 2 years, let's say? Do we think this is going to be a third brand? Or is NXT going to be the same exact thing as it is now? Or maybe are we going to have what I want and it's going to turn back into fucking developmental like it should be? I don't know. I mean, I'll go into that in a minute, but I'm more curious of what you guys think. Where, not only Triple H, but like the whole company, where do they see this? Like,
I think at this point it's no longer developmental. Like when you had Finn Balor come in, he was in NXT for 2 years before they brought him up. You have guys like Lars Sullivan or Aleister Black or all those guys that are coming in now that are in the thing for 5 months.
Yeah, not actually development. I see.
They have time to develop their WWE style, and then they move up. At that point, it's not really developmental, and the Performance Center is more developmental at this point.
I was going to say, yeah, I feel like the Performance Center is definitely...
But okay, we might as well go into this now, and this is something I've been wanting to talk about since fucking episode 10. But where do the people at the Performance Center go and have matches? Where do they go have a show? Like, where do they go pretend?
On the road.
Not pretend, but like...
House shows.
Yeah, on the
NXT house shows?
Yeah.
That's where they're... And that's what's...
Full Sail or wherever they go somewhere.
The shows that they do around Florida and stuff like that?
Yeah.
They're not always at every taping because they know that all the indie guys, people are going to watch the show for these indie guys like Adam Cole and Ricochet.
And I don't disagree with that. It's not that I don't want... Like, I think it's cool that it's like a super indie show and these guys could potentially come up to WWE. I just genuinely liked watching, like, people develop.
Yes.
Like, I think it's wicked that I saw almost the whole Alexa Bliss culmination.
Yes.
I seen Valet tag team. I seen her make a little bit of a small singles push on NXT. I seen her get like all of it. I seen it all kind of culminate. Lars Sullivan, I don't know, was he in the Indies before coming to WWE?
Not that I know of, no.
So I like guys like
been
that.
around for a while.
He had?
Yeah.
Oh,
okay,
yeah?
see, I didn't know that. But I like these guys that come in. I know, and I'm not a fan of him, but like Baron Corbin, it's a horrible example, but guys that are from other places that are good. Like, I don't like the guys that are shit that come in and don't try, but if they, like Matt Riddle, honestly, like I'm not a huge fan of him and the whole boots and everything in the bro, but like for what he's doing from coming from another sport and being like, yeah, I want to try this. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there should still be a place where some of those people can develop. Like, I'm trying to think of some other people that
I do agree with you. Like, when they have these other guys come out to face the newest indie signing, those are guys that are actually in the performance center. They're coming out to have like their big match in front of a big crowd. I do want to see those guys because those guys, they show some fire. They show some talent that I want to see more of. So I do agree with you on that. But at that same time, what's going to sell more tickets?
Well, yeah. That's, that comes back around to where we started this conversation in the sense that, is it a third brand or is it not? Like, are they going to keep this on NXT and are they going to start? Because I feel like it's not. Like, they don't talk about NXT on Raw and SmackDown the way they talk about Raw and SmackDown. You know what I mean? You don't hear...
That's almost why I would still consider it developmental to a certain degree.
Because they still talk about people coming up, quote unquote?
Yeah. Like, just because you were the champion, and we've had this discussion, like, everything gets forgotten, right? Like, just because you were the champion NXT, you come up to Raw doesn't mean you're going to be fighting AJ Styles first night or something, like, for example, you know what I mean?
But that's another thing that's completely separate from the developmental conversation. I hate that everything's forgotten. I said this 2 weeks ago. Like, Velveteen Dream is going to get called up, and I'm not saying they're going to ruin him, whether they do an amazing job with him or not. Everything, all this awesome stuff that he's done is kind of forgotten and not talked about. They don't talk about the Kevin Owens and Finn Balor classics that we had in NXT. You know what I mean? Maybe sometimes, like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they brought up if it's like a huge thing, but I don't know.
I feel like the only time they actually like bring it up is where like he'll debut, or whoever it is will debut, and they'll mention former NXT champion, and that's about it.
And that's it. But what about the show? What do you see it being like 2 years from now? You know, November 2020. What is NXT? Is it on Fox after SmackDown? Is it on a different network and you've got Raw on USA, SmackDown on Fox, and NXT's on fucking CBS? I don't know enough about TV networks. You know what I mean? Like, because I know NBC is USA. So, you know, X TV network, is it going to be like that, or are they going to stay on the network and it's this tier system that everybody keeps talking about and different prices on the network? And
well, with what I see happening, especially after they've come out with the news about Evolve basically being developmental for NXT.
Okay, so there's my answer too. That's kind of like back to our other conversation. Yeah,
I could see NXT becoming its own thing, but also still being less than Raw and SmackDown. Especially under Vince McMahon's eyes, NXT is that new show. Even though it's really more popular than both Raw and SmackDown have that history, and Vince McMahon knows and respects that. And
as much as, I mean, you guys might not like this, but Raw and SmackDown has way more viewers than NXT.
Yes.
Like, there is like, people think more people watch NXT than do. And I'm not trying to bash NXT. I just mean there's a lot of people that don't see NXT.
Yeah. Well, because like it's not on that main stage like these are as well. And if maybe it was, I don't know, who's to say.
And I don't even mean guys like you, and I know you don't watch NXT every week, but you're a fan. I mean casual fans who have like, no fucking idea who Cien Almas is when he gets called up.
There's a guy I work with. He's like 40 something, but he's been a wrestling fan since like the early 2000s stuff. So he grew up with guys like Stone Cold, The Rock, and all them.
And even before probably Hogan.
But all the show those guys were on was Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
So when you see tickets for Raw and SmackDown, if you have tickets for Raw, SmackDown, NXT in front of you, and you're that age, what are you going to buy?
You're going to buy a Raw ticket.
Yeah.
No, you're not going to go thinking, what's this NXT thing that the kids are watching?
Yeah.
This yellow show. But I don't know.
I feel like we kind of answered our own question there, though, too.
As far as what it's going to become?
Well, just the fact of, like, NXT it's on the network. It's on the network only, right?
But is it going to stay there?
I think. Well,
Does Triple H want it to stay there?
I think it still is. I look at it still as a developmental system too. You know what I mean? Because like, I was talking more about the fact of how we said like guys come up, and whatever they've done there gets forgotten about. It's like a clean slate. You know what I mean?
But is that a good thing?
But because like you said, the casual fan, the 5-year-old or the 10-year-old in the crowd at Raw is maybe not be watching NXT.
Or even the 25-year-old Tanner Price.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Continue. Sorry, I just
So-
mean like it doesn't have to be the younger fan.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so they don't know it. So how do we introduce them to this new character, or talk so highly about them when they're like, they don't give a fuck about Finn Balor and whoever, right?
Even somebody as small who wasn't huge in NXT, like No Way Jose, like to just ruin somebody, like he was something in NXT.
To have a counterpoint to this, back to when AJ debuted at the Royal Rumble.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
This is what I want for Kenny Omega. If Kenny Omega goes to NXT, I'm done. I'm fucking done with NXT.
Yeah.
You hear JBL in commentary, former IWGP Heavyweight Champion, like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
That is how you sell someone new to the main roster.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar, your longest reigning champion, and arguably in the more modern era.
Yeah.
And
that's
this
a
new
great
guy
point.
debuts to a company. He's only the only other foreigner beside Brock Lesnar to hold that championship.
That's a great point. I didn't even think of that, and I totally forgot. But
You don't
I mean,
need-
I know they brought up the fact that AJ was the former, but I didn't think about the
Like, you don't even need to
the
know
Brock
what
time.
the IWGP Heavyweight Championship is. Just the fact that he held the same championship as Brock Lesnar.
that
so
says a lot.
They could do something like that. Like Adam Cole
With
was a
NXT,
PWG champion. So was Kevin Owens or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I mean, I don't know how much they'd go into like those smaller titles, but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. I know
Yeah.
where you're coming from, and that's. I mean, if they did that with Kenny, and talked about AJ and him and Shinsuke and. I mean, did they cross paths actually, Kenny and Shinsuke, or no? They might not have. I don't know my New Japan.
The
as
only
well.
match they ever had was
that tag?
it was when Kenny kicked out AJ.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was in that match. Like that
Yeah.
was a match
Yeah.
at the,
That was the
after
only
that.
time they ever fought.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. I don't know.
Like, if they were to bring up Adam Cole and mention that he was a 2-time Ring of Honor champion, like Daniel Bryan, the current WWE champion,
Something like that. Yeah.
you just sold that guy.
That's you're not wrong at all, and I don't want to come across as a downer. They're not going to bring up the Ring of Honor Championship. I
know.
don't think. I mean, even though they still show clips of Tyler Black on the network and they talk about Kevin Steen, I don't know if they talk about Kevin Steen, but
And
they
then
definitely
they're
show
like-
Tyler Black.
In their side shows, like their 24 series or whatever,
Yeah,
but
or
not in the main shows.
There's shows on, I don't know if they're only YouTube or not, but there's shows where they talk about their old character.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, I think there's one with Bailey where she talks about being Pamela Martinez and this whole thing of where they go back to where she used to wrestle. And same with
Yeah.
Seth. They're actually, check them out. They're actually pretty cool.
They're good.
But yeah, I don't know how much more we should talk about NXT. Like, did you guys? I mean, we watched a little bit before we recorded. The Keith Lee and Lars Sullivan match looked pretty fucking hard hitting this week. I don't know.
It's just two big guys hitting each other.
Yeah, and Lars lost too, right? I think they showed
Well, that's usually how they write someone off of NXT, right? They usually lose and then they move up to main roster. It's
Yeah,
just weird that they would
Classic
do it.
territory fashion.
Yeah.
which
It's-
is I'm fine with that.
Like, even when Baron Corbin moved up to main roster, he lost at a takeover.
All the opportunity was there.
Yeah, he lost at a takeover, yet you're having Lars Sullivan lose at a
Regular NXT taping.
at a taping, not even a live.
Yeah. What do you remember who the final? Because I'm just curious now. Who the final Baron Corbin
I do.
feud was?
I do, because it was one of my guys. It was him and Austin Aries, I believe.
No, I don't think it was Austin Aries.
They did feud. He's right
remember-
about that. I can't
I feel
remember.
like that was
I know
towards
who
the
he
end of
lost to.
his...
It was Apollo Crews.
Oh,
He
yeah.
lost.
really?
That was the last.
Yeah, I think
Baron lost to Apollo. That was the last takeover he ever did.
I think he's right.
Which one was that?
I don't remember the takeover, but I do remember them feuding as well, and it was after
Oh.
Aries. Because I think, I don't know. We should Google it, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't know. There was something else I was going to bring up too, but we'll move on to. I don't know.
Think about that. You lose to this guy in developmental, move up to main roster, and the guy that beats you is now in a lower spot in the card than you are.
Well, Corbin's just been completely. I don't know. I talked about it last week, but doesn't this guy want to be a fucking wrestler, man? Doesn't he want to wrestle?
You know what I was thinking of today randomly? Why did we never really got an answer as to why he didn't want like Braun Strowman to like why did he want Brock to be the champion? Like he didn't really dive into detail on that. He didn't say that Stephanie wants this or
I don't think they think about that much.
You could argue the storyline perspective of I'm the general manager. I don't want to have to worry about the Universal Champion coming out every night trying to challenge someone. Then I have to approve or unapprove the match. If Brock Lesnar's champion, he has his match at a pay-per-view. Makes my job easier. I guess you could argue that point.
Yeah. I don't even know what to go more in depth with that. But
that would be implying WWE's thinking about the characters.
Yeah, but I don't know. And I don't want to go all over the place. But I really like your point about bringing up other belts and comparing wrestlers to former champions and being able to give them credit right off the bat. I think that's a really cool idea. Somebody do that.
Yeah, they did it for a bit with the tag guys, Gallows and Anderson. I remember when they first came up, they brought up their New Japan stuff as well. So, I for sure I know Kenny Omega if he does come over. Like, I don't see he's definitely not going to be an NXT guy. Like, they'll do it right. They're not.
I fucking hope
they've
not,
seen the formula work with AJ, and
Yeah. But they got to know that he's on that same level. Same with the Young Bucks. We talked about this last week too.
Yeah,
they should come straight up. They don't need to go to NXT unless they really just need or want to have that whole NXT run of takeovers and pops and all that shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should we get into more of the Debbie Downer stuff from Monday Night Raw?
Sure.
Your show.
Well, no, it's our show. But, I don't know. What anything stand out for you guys? I've got some shit written down, but there's I don't know, man.
Drake Maverick?
Yeah, I guess that segment we can start there. Fuck. How about that? So Drake Maverick takes the robe backstage, pisses on it. The only part that I liked was the fact that he said glorious, but he pisses on the robe, and Bobby Roode's having a match there with AOP, and
a tag team title match, don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, a tag team.
How did they get a title shot?
Oh, because they beat them last week.
Yeah, they beat them the week before on a roll-up. I think it was because Maverick was distracting one of Akam or Rezar or something. So, but yeah, I don't even know. Anybody listening to our show, obviously, thank you for listening. And you know what the fuck happened, probably. I don't know what's worse: Bobby Roode looking at the TV screen and not caring about becoming a tag team champion, and being more concerned about his $10,000 robe. That come on. It's not 10,000. It's not 1982 anymore. And Ric Flair, we can look it up and see if the robe is 10 grand.
They got it for $20. Good job.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's a cheap robe. I'm just saying it's probably not $10,000, and you don't need to say that nowadays. That's a personal preference, but where was I? Fuck, I don't know what's worse: the fact that he was looking at there, or AOP decided once Drake was on the TV that they've got to wait before they attack Bobby. He's already distracted. Who cares if he sees that his robe gets pissed on?
Come on, man. You got to keep kayfabe alive. Come on.
I'm just thinking from I try to think logically. If this was a fight.
Yes. And
this guy looked the other way, do I wait for him to watch the video, or do I just fucking punch him in the head from behind because I'm a bad guy anyway?
I think what they did to explain that away was just before Drake Maverick walked out, I think they hit I don't know who it was, but one of AOP with a move or something that's supposed to knock him out, so that they could watch that, and then it's he gets back up and then hits a move. Like
Bobby Lashley hit Akam kind of thing with a move, and then Akam was supposed to be knocked out, and I said, yeah, okay.
I think that's what they did. They didn't really show it in the clip on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure that's what they did.
Well, yeah, and I don't remember that too much of that when the show was actually happening.
What's worse of all, is the fact that you have fucking what's his name?
Championships on the line?
On the commentator. Corey Graves bringing up, he said it. He laid it out for us. Well, why do you care about the robe? And we've seen, us as wrestling fans, we've seen Bobby Roode come out with how many different fucking robes? Every week he has a different robe. Fuck.
He has been rocking the blue one for a while. I was going to bring that up. But I know what you're saying. He's got
a
lot.
He had the red at the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did for Raw.
And his red tee.
But this pay-per-view stuff is special. Man. You only can bring those up for pay-per-views.
I'd be fine with that too, but the whole tag team between the two of them in general isn't really the best thing that we've gotten in a while.
It is weird.
It's not horrible, but you can't just grab a guy and throw him. They got to have something. And
yeah,
Gable just trying to steal his gimmick to me isn't really something.
They've been lost with Gable since Jason Jordan.
Yeah,
became-
shout out to him, Donovan, your boy. Your boy JJ.
Yeah.
He's been lost, and they haven't even let him do single stuff.
Is Jason Jordan coming back? What's the word? Anybody know anything?
I know he's
still rehabbing.
I don't know if he's still rehabbing. He might be, but I know he's doing like he's helping people put together matches.
Oh, okay.
backstage.
Oh yeah, he was. I know he's like working under Matt Hardy or something.
Maybe.
And
Yeah.
that's in the backstage stuff.
Yeah.
like-
He's like helping people put together matches and stuff.
That's all right then, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but the
Kurt
tag-
Angle hooked him up.
like you said, man. I want you to tell that story. Like you told me, we talked about it off air. But the Booker T Goldust stuff, like about how titles
Yeah.
just don't really matter.
Yeah,
you know?
so they played a clip. I don't know if it was on Raw or if it was on SmackDown this week. And I didn't watch, to preface it for anybody listening, I didn't watch wrestling in 2003. I think that this is roughly when this was happening, maybe 2001. I don't know.
Yeah.
So Booker T and Goldust, I knew they were a team. But I didn't know much about them and how they were put together and how their team worked. So they showed this video and it was kind of them, not getting along. Like Goldust would show up in bed.
Yeah.
Booker T's in
I remember, it
bed.
was good shit.
And
yeah.
all these different segments where he'd just be like, why are you here? And he'd just be so mad. And it was just like all this different stuff. So it was awesome. I liked it. And then it showed them winning the tag titles. And then it showed a backstage segment with Booker and Goldust. And Booker walked up to Goldust and he kind of just looked at him and said, you know what, man? It doesn't matter. All the stuff we went through, it's in the past. It's over because we got these. And then he holds up the belt. And all I could think was, holy shit, those titles actually mean something. Because I can't imagine that happening nowadays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just, like, Akam and Razor won the tag titles, and I know that they're supposed to be brooding heels who don't talk a whole lot, but like, you wouldn't know that those tag titles mean a lot to them. You would. Yeah. It's not like Drake Maverick has really made you feel like they've been, working their whole fucking lives and putting up all this stuff to get to. I don't know. I just feel like the belts aren't put on a pedestal the way that they once were.
Well, it might just be one of those things where it's a champion you don't want to be champion just so you can root for someone. They might just be trying to build that babyface team that the crowd can actually get behind.
You mean Chad Gable and Bobby?
Not necessarily them, but just a team in general, right?
To chase.
Yeah, because sometimes you need those champions that people don't want to see as champions, so people can actually see them eventually get beaten.
JBL.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good example. That's the first thing that came to mind.
Jinder Mahal.
Jinder Mahal. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
I feel like
almost
Jinder,
like a transitional type of champion.
I guess you could argue it's a transitional, or
But
you could argue it's more of like a necessary evil.
Yeah, and you're still building up AOP at the same time.
Yes.
Even if they end up dropping them, they're still.
But it's not even just these titles, man. It's all the titles.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, what else do we want to go into from Raw? Should we talk about fucking Seth and Dolph for the 17th time this year?
Well, I'm confused. Okay,
I don't want to go about everything. I just mean that's another thing like that makes sense about what we're talking about, and the title. Like, shouldn't there be somebody else backstage who should come out after Dolph and push Dolph to the side and say, no.
My turn.
My turn. I want that belt.
I don't know, just fucking common sense, like here, Seth Rollins is defending his title in a few weeks. Why is he just I get it, he's the babyface, the fighting champion, but he shouldn't be defending. He doesn't be just throwing out open challenges to whoever. And if he does, he should fucking lose. Then someone random should come and beat him. Then, if that's because you're putting it on the line. High risk, high reward. Like,
I don't fully agree with that. 2 reasons. One, Seth, I think they're trying to build up. Even I'm putting my hand in the air right now for anybody who can't see me. But Seth, they're trying to build him up higher because Braun is gone, Roman's away, Dean is a heel. That's another thing I want to talk about. Who the fuck are the baby faces on Raw?
Well, they need stars too, like everything, man. It seems to be
Finn,
Seth, Finn,
Elias,
and those are your top 3.
now.
Seth, Finn, and Elias. And Seth is off with Dean. Elias and Finn, I guess, are together.
I guess.
Kind of, because they're both like by default getting beat up by the new NWO of Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, and Baron Corbin.
I'd argue it's more of the. Well, what were they called when Triple H and Stephanie were running roughshod over Raw?
The Authority?
The Authority, the new Authority.
Kinda, but with less corporate
Yeah.
rub.
The Lone Wolf Pack.
Oh, Jesus.
That doesn't even make sense. That's like a double. What is that? Like, what is the word? You know what I mean? Double negative and the low. But they would do that. Like, they probably. I could see Corbin with a T-shirt.
Wait, so
that
you're
says
telling
the
me it's
Lone
okay
Pack.
for Seth to just defend his title? Like, I get
Yeah,
it.
I
that
kinda
he's
went
the
off
baby
tangent.
face, and he's a fighting champion, right? But
I think Cena's open challenge thing 3 years ago changed all this.
yeah, but no. See, this brings up some shit that this is one of my things that I wanted to get to, man. And I know right now it might not be a good time to do it because they don't give a fuck and they can't organize one title from the other. But get a fucking TV title, man. Do that and give us something to look forward to every fucking week. Get a fucking TV title.
Is that what that means? I got to be honest. It might sound dumb to anybody listening,
Yeah.
and I might sound sometimes like I know what I'm talking about, but is that back in the day historically the television title?
Yeah.
Is that what that means? This is the title that's going to be shown on the TV shows, whereas the other titles you might have to buy the pay-per-view or go to the live event to actually see the belt be defended?
Yes, but at least when you tune in week to week, you will get a championship match. You're guaranteed
For the TV title.
Yes.
That's a really...
That would make sense back in the day, considering like you're not on a weekly episodic thing. When you have this title going around every episode for an entire year,
it could get
it's going to
repetitive.
get old.
Like if it was every week. But I don't know if Donovan's necessarily saying it has to be every single week, maybe twice a month or what the time fits. But I
maybe
do
every other week.
I see.
I don't know. People didn't get tired of Cena doing his thing. He did it for quite a while.
But the way he did with his was different than the way Seth is doing his now.
And I'm not even saying for the guy to retain it though. But I think it doesn't have to get boring if you have different guys winning it and having the title actually mean something.
Yes.
That guy's the workhorse of the company. He's there every week defending that title.
And rankings would be like for that too. I mean,
And like I said, I know it right now doesn't really make sense because of the fact that they don't know what to do with their fucking US champion. They don't know what the fuck they're doing with their tag champions on either show.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying about Seth, like Seth, and I don't even know what I was gonna say, so never mind. Don't worry about it.
What about them building Seth as the?
Well, no, it's the whole like the open challenge. Like I think they're trying. I remember now. They're trying to capitalize or get the fire in the bottle that they had with the Cena thing.
Probably, yeah, I could see that.
Because I feel like ever since that happened, the Cena, and that was right when I started watching, man. Like I watched a month before Mania, and then that was like the early time of me getting back into wrestling. They've been trying to redo that because we get a lot of open challenges. I feel like that wasn't as big of a thing before Cena did it.
AJ tried it on SmackDown with the US title as well.
Yeah. Like, and I'm not opposed to it, and when Cena did it, it was awesome. I don't know, you guys were watching every week. I wasn't talking to you both on a regular basis back then, but I loved it. I looked forward to that every week, and for me, it was that moment where Cena would come out and he'd talk for a second, and then he would drop the mic, and you're sitting there like, who is it? Who's it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
It could be anybody.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Owens pops up, and you're like, what the fuck? He steps on the U.S. title and beats the shit out of Cena. Like, where's that? You know,
it all depends on how they book it.
like
With Seth, this first person to come out for his open challenge, Dolph Ziggler. You've already ruined it.
yeah. Well,
If you had someone come out this is going to be
and that's
weird,
not. No,
but-
I know you're laughing, and that's not because we think Dolph Ziggler doesn't deserve it. It's just
No, it's because they fought 1,000 times.
yeah.
Yes.
If there's a ranking,
That's
like
what
It's like open challenge. I'm interested. Dolph Ziggler, I don't care.
yeah,
Not because Dolph Ziggler's bad, but we've seen the match 1,000 times.
exactly.
But if you had someone like, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, like No Way Jose coming out,
at
it's
least
like, okay,
it's like, oh,
it's No Way Jose. This is a match I haven't seen before. Okay, I'm kind of interested. What's going to happen?
yeah. No, even Kurt Hawkins, who you know is gonna
Yeah.
lose. At least it's different.
Someone
Like,
comes out you haven't seen before, and that's how you build interest in it. It's not, let's have him face 3 guys 3 weeks in a row that he's already fought several times for the belt. It's have him bring out the new guys.
and how many 6-mans did we have with Seth and Dolph in there as well, where they were fighting in the 6-man? Like, it's just enough. But I don't like I said before at the beginning. I don't want to waste time just talking shit. I mean, there's we can find good things to talk about, but what do we got? We talked about it a little bit about the baby faces, but so Seth, Elias, Finn, and let's put Seth onto the side because he's with Dean and they're in their own little world. Who's next? Apollo Crews?
I think he's a heel now, isn't he?
There you go.
I guess sorry, I forgot about Braun. I guess he's.
But
Yeah,
you can't
I know
include
he's
Braun
tied
or
in.
Roman right
He's
now, in
tied.
my opinion, because they're both out. Like
Was he
Yeah.
going to be at TLC or?
I don't think so.
Braun?
I
Or
mean,
Roman?
Braun. Roman's definitely not.
Braun, they say he's going to be at TLC. He's got the match on with Baron Corbin.
It's for sure because he
Yeah.
had surgery yesterday.
It's going to end up being a 6-man. I'm telling you, bro. No, here you heard it here. I'm telling. Watch.
Or-
6-man tag
Baron Corbin will throw Mega Lumberjack.
With, like, his
It's
boys?
going to be Drew and Bobby and
Or make it a
Baron,
Lumberjack.
and it's going to be Elias, Finn, and Braun. That's what's going to happen. Because they love to do 6-mans at TLC, guys. You just remember they love that. They're all over that shit.
I don't know, man. I hope that doesn't happen. But
It might be the main event too.
do you guys? I heard them talking about it on Aftermath this week. Shout out to that show. I actually liked that show before SmackDown here in Canada. It's pretty good. Shout out to Anthony. But
Pretty good.
well, it is. I like it. This
On
week
the-
was
on the score?
yeah. I actually this week I was like
remember watching that when it was Renee Young that used to be on that
Yeah,
show.
yeah. I
yeah,
remember
which
that
is
too, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
wild to think about. But anyway, I was watching that and I don't even know what I was going to say. They were talking about a possible savior. And I mean, I think we've all thought about it, but what do we think about Bray Wyatt coming out and being the babyface savior to Finn Balor?
Well, apparently
I know he showed up at the house show
Yeah.
last weekend, so
he showed up at a house show and he beat the heel. We have seen for one match a Bray Wyatt like face turn. I forget who it was against, but he came back after like a long hiatus and he was like super hyping a match and everyone was going crazy for it.
is this like way before Matt Hardy shit?
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
before Matt
I
Hardy.
brought this up to you. It was him and Roman teamed up. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
And then I think Bray got hurt.
Was it
shortly
at a
after?
pay-per-view?
Yeah.
No, it was on Raw.
It was on Raw. Yeah, Bray Wyatt
I
came
don't
out
remember
after
that.
being injured and was just babyface for a
I'm sure if I
single
saw it,
match.
I'd remember.
And that was how they hyped it. Oh, these two. Because remember they had that feud. They've
Oh,
been
yeah,
feuding
yeah,
and now
yeah.
they have to work together.
I remember the feud well, but yeah, that's crazy. What do you guys think? Is that something they could do, or do you want to have them keep him?
It would give him something to do.
Yeah,
God knows we need fucking somebody. Like we need more power, star power.
Would you-
And I'm not saying Bray Wyatt's the all-being
of course
fucking
not. But
savior, but if he's put in the right scenario, maybe he can do something with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because at least they got the whole phone thing. People like to join in, and I don't know.
yeah,
He can cut a good promo. I don't know how it would work out though. Like I don't know if that's the answer. That's what I'm saying. I don't think that's necessarily the answer. Is Bray Wyatt?
Is
No.
there anyone that's injured right now that might be coming back soon, other than like
on
Sammy and Kevin? But I think they're still out.
on
a while
Raw,
out.
not that I can think of. No, and
I'll have to-
I don't know. There's a multitude of ways that, or ways that they can go with that. But I guess we'll see in the coming weeks. I don't know what's going on. Do you want to talk about Nia's promo at all, or any of that Ronda stuff? We don't have to. I mean, it was nothing major. Nia kind of talking.
It was a thing that happened. It's pretty much all.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronda came out. I like that one comment. What would she called her?
The mute monolith.
Yeah, the monolithic mute. That was a great line by Ronda
It
to call
was.
Tamina. So
Yeah,
shout out.
Tamina looked like she wasn't even engaged in what was going on. She looked like
Yeah,
she was,
even when Nia was cutting the promo, she's kind
she
of
was
like
looking at
holding her arm
something on
like-
the ground, and
Yeah, like
her
what-
shoelace was maybe undone or something. Like she had no interest in what was going on in the ring.
She's like, "Are we almost done yet?" Like,
She's like those one person.
bad.
She's that one person between two people that are arguing, and her eyes are just moving back and forth between who's talking.
she was thinking about the hot double date that they were talking about. But yeah, so I don't know. We had those two horrible. I want to move to SmackDown quick, but we had those two horrible segments. Raw opened with Baron Corbin fighting Elias. He's losing. He switches it to a 2-on-1 and he wins. And then the show closes with Baron Corbin once again. Why not? He's already the general manager in 4 segments. Why not put him in the opener and the closer? Because that makes a lot of fucking sense. Sarcasm, if anybody doesn't pick up on that. Yeah, and the same thing happens. He's fighting Elias. He's getting his ass kicked by Elias. He grabs the microphone and says this is now a handicap match or no disqualification. I don't know. The first one might have been no disqualification, and this one might have been a handicap.
Mhm.
And that was it. They beat down Elias, and they all raised. I think Bobby Lashley came out as well, gave him that trippy Dominator. I don't know why he doesn't do his move from back in 2005. And that was it. Crowd booed like crazy, and that was your end to Raw.
Well, I guess you could
Many
make the
people
point that they're trying to build a heel faction again. That's the only thing I could like. They're trying to make that detestable heel faction that can lose at Mania.
if they are, just get Baron Corbin out of this fucking role of general manager and bring him back as a wrestler, and then have because if you're talking about bringing back stables, bro, you're not going to upset me. Like, I want that, but do it properly. Like, they just had one, Drew, Dolph, and Braun. Like, that was a thing.
Yeah.
And where's that? Braun's a babyface, and Dolph is fighting for the... Like, it's... If you're going to do it, do it. That's the way I look at it, because it's a good idea in the sense that, yeah, if you can have three
smaller guys, make them in one bigger thing, yeah.
Of course. And then just like we were talking about with the titles, the chase. You want your favorite babyfaces to beat the shit out of these guys because they're menacing heels. But
do you think we'd benefit from a shakeup right now?
I don't know. Should we predict a shakeup, or should we? What do you think? I don't know. I think we would benefit, but I don't think that they should do it before Mania. Nor do I think they will.
Yeah, no.
A shakeup will definitely.
But man, just the way that
the women alone,
the entire show has been going as a whole, man, I'm almost okay. You got to just make one roster again.
No, because
There's
then
not enough stars,
because then
man.
I got no reason to watch SmackDown again. Because nothing happened. When I watched wrestling in 2015.
Yeah, but make shit happen then.
Well, that's a different
what I
story. I just mean I knew that like I could go back then. I didn't watch SmackDown, and it wasn't because I was just getting into wrestling. It was because I knew like if I watched Raw, that's where actual like storylines were progressing. SmackDown was just like, I hate to say it was almost like a house show. It was just like matches.
Yes, but
story, and I'm here for the story.
I hate to break it to you, but once upon a time, SmackDown was something.
No, when it was its own show. Like, was SmackDown ever a thing when it was
I'm talking like early
roster?
fucking...
Oh,
early,
you mean before the first brand split?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a new show at that time,
and why not?
too.
They could do this whole fucking, you want to have Seth or Shinsuke or whoever the fuck this weekly champion, do it on SmackDown. Every SmackDown will get that title guy. Defend this weekly challenge that everyone wants to see. Do it there.
I mean, to each his own. I mean, it could work. I don't know how you feel, Will, but that's definitely not. I wouldn't be on that side of the coin. I like brand splits. I like.
But there's no reason. Like, who's the star? Like, what am I tuning in to? Ronda?
Yeah, Ronda and AJ and DB.
You know what I mean?
I guess
it's on Raw for now. I'll go to SmackDown.
Raw. It's a sticky situation. Seth Rollins and Ronda, yeah, but you also got your top guy Roman Reigns, and then the 1A guy.
And your champion's like not on the show.
Yeah, Brock's not on the. I love Brock, but that's not the majority. And I've been listening to shout out to the Dead Ass Girls podcast. Shout out to Armchair Bookers. Other smaller wrestling type podcasts like ours. I've been listening to people like that, and they don't fucking like Brock. Like that is not the popular opinion that I have where I like Brock. And I don't know how you guys feel. I know Donovan's kind of you like him, you respect him, but you're
Brock,
over this.
I just don't like him as the champion.
Yeah. And you're probably
if
the same
he came
way.
in just for a match against some dude at a bigger pay-per-view, I'd be fine. But he's the dude that's supposed to be the face of your company. He's supposed to be the one on all your cups, on all your commemorative chairs. The first person you see on the WrestleMania poster is supposed to be this dude, and we see him once a month.
Yeah.
It was cool at first. When he first came back and won the title, I was like, yeah, Brock Lesnar. It was cool back in 2013 or whatever the fuck it was. But
I liked it last year. Like now it's kind of getting like, okay, this has been like a year and a half of this, but for the 6, 7, 8 months that it happened, I liked not seeing the champion every week on Raw. I genuinely I don't need to see that belt every week.
I feel like
because then when I see it, it's like, oh shit, that's the Universal belt. Like
I feel like the problem they're having is they want Brock to be this monster heel that eventually someone will take down. The problem is they have no babyface that's even close to being a remote threat.
Yep.
The only remote threats they have are heels. So any face they try to have go against these heels, well, they lose because, we're trying to have Bobby Lashley be a threat to Brock. We're trying to have Drew be a threat to Brock or Braun.
But then you got to turn those fucking guys first.
Yeah, you got to turn those guys, or you got to actually have them lose to a babyface to make that babyface more credible so he can eventually beat Brock.
Yeah. Even...
And it's funny you say that, though. I'm over that theory. I don't think they have that plan that they want someone to get a rub up. I don't think they know what they're doing. And they're just
over
going,
now?
Yeah.
Like
that was a theory for a while, though.
Well, with the whole beating Undertaker, they were still waiting to give that
Yeah.
rub to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think. They're just kind of here.
Well, if anything, at this point, to me, that rub's been given. The rub's Roman's got that rub.
Yeah.
He beat him at SummerSlam. Like that was the end of that chapter, that story. I don't know. Do you guys want to go into a bit of SmackDown?
Sure, yeah.
I thought SmackDown was way better this week. The women's segment at the beginning was awesome. Them kind of talking shit in the ring with Becky and Charlotte, and then Mandy Rose, which kind of shocked me that she was kind of the leader of the group of heels, but I guess that's what Vince has got his eyes on, which I don't blame him. But that was a cool segment, which led to Battle Royal later in the night. Asuka wins the Battle Royal. Number one contender, triple threat match at TLC, Becky, Charlotte, Asuka. What do you guys think?
Fantastic. Phenomenal. I love it.
I just wonder what kind of match it's going to be.
Do you think, we talked about it before we hit record, but do you think the fact that Becky might not be 100%, she might be like 95, you think Asuka was added for that reason?
See, I didn't know that until Will brought it up before we.
I just mean it doesn't shock me. She took a broken cheekbone and a concussion. I'm sure, and it's like she's not going.
But I'm just surprised that they would even put her in any type of situation if she's not 100%.
I just don't.
They're not that type of. They're not like that at all.
No, you're right.
With people, so she's probably
going to
be okay by the time.
She's probably good, but I just really don't think they wanted to take the belt away from her, and they knew if she's not fighting at TLC and she didn't fight at Survivor Series, that's 2 pay-per-views in a row. Sorry, sweetheart, but your belt's coming to us, being WWE.
I mean, if I was in Becky's situation, even if I wasn't 100% and they told me to go out there and just take him out one big bump and then set up for the rest of the match, I'm the most over person on the roster. I'm going to go climb that ladder. I'm going to take a bump off the ladder.
Yeah, well, yeah, we know she will do something crazy like that. How do you guys feel about them actually getting something right in the sense that they put the 3 women that should be in this match?
As long as the match type is right, match of the night.
Yeah, it definitely could be. And it, frankly, in my opinion, this is without a doubt, this should be closing the show.
Oh,
but just
at this point, yeah.
It's not because I keep saying it every pay-per-view, but it's just like, what's bigger than this right now? Like, is Braun and fucking, Baron gonna close the show? Probably not. Brock's not wrestling. Or AJ and DB, maybe. But when was the last time the WWE Championship closed WWE pay-per-view?
That's exactly what it should, because that's a fucking problem. Because the title that this company is called WWE is not called Universal Wrestling. So why hasn't the WWE title closed a fucking pay-per-view in God knows how long?
Oh, that was the line of the show so far. That may be going on Twitter.
You know what I mean?
Throw it up in quotes.
Fuck. Make it matter again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are guys who can. Because everyone likes Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles. Even if you don't think Daniel Bryan's a dick for what he did, you like the rest. They're going to put in work.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So.
For sure. Either way, I think we're all excited for the triple threat match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some matches on this pay-per-view that I'm looking forward to, like the women's and the men's 2 title matches there.
We didn't talk about Ronda and Nia, but them having a match, that should be okay.
Seth and Dean are at TLC. Did they say what match that was going to be?
They haven't announced yet, and we didn't talk about it at all, but they fought at Starrcade, and I really enjoyed the fact that they didn't play that because we watched that 1 hour special. I know we're going a little bit off topic from SmackDown. We'll talk a little Starrcade for a second, but they showed a 1 hour, special of Starrcade. I don't know if you saw it, Will, but they kind of chopped down the show. Mm-hmm. So there was not many entrances, and we just got a few, like a women's 6-man or a women's 6-woman tag, and I think they gave us AJ and Joe.
Yes.
That was the final match, but they left off Seth and Dean. So yeah, I'm sure they'll be doing some sort of, Extreme Rules or tables match or stairs match.
That's another thing. I know it's not related to what we're talking about right now, but at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, there was one match that wasn't just a normal match.
What do you mean?
Last one they had?
I don't know if it was the last one or the one before.
But
there was Extreme Rules pay-per-view.
Had one Extreme Rules match?
Yes.
There shouldn't even be a pay-per-view called Extreme Rules anyway. So
or Hell in the Cell.
Or TLC. Like, those are all stupid fucking names. Everybody listening knows this, but it's the truth. Like,
we're really against
where's Armageddon? Where's Unforgiven? Where's Backlash? Where's the
Starrcade?
Yes.
Starrcade. No, but you know what? And shout out to my boy Wade. It wouldn't be a PW Look Back Roundtable if Nick wasn't bringing up Wade Keller. But he talked about it this week. Imagine WCW won the Monday Night Roars and had a fucking house show called WrestleMania.
Oh my God.
Just let that sink in for a second. It's a crazy thought. But
Vince Russo's wet dream.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I don't really know much about Vince, and I heard them talking like Russo, and I heard them talking about one of his podcasts. I'm like, should I listen to that? Probably not. Probably not going to learn
if you
much.
Don't, if you don't,
No, hey. Well, I think people give Russo a lot of like bad rap, but he did a lot of good shit too. As much as he did fucked up shit in WWF, he did a lot of. He was responsible for a lot of good things.
Okay, fair enough. That's, I mean, I don't know enough. I just know a lot of the shitty stuff he did in late WCW.
no one remembers the good; they only remember the bad.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate. I was thinking about that today at my work. A little off topic, but I drive cars around.
Yeah,
and I was like, I could go 5 years and never hit anything. And I was like, if I ding one thing, I'm going to be, like, my ass is going to be on the line. And you're never going to be like, you're a good driver. You've never hit anything. But anyway, a little off topic. What else from SmackDown? Jeff Hardy segment? Is that worth talking about?
I guess I kind of want to talk about, like, Samoa Joe for a second, maybe.
Well, yeah, so we know it's WWE and we weren't going to get a pure good old Hardy segment. No pun intended. But we knew something was up. I thought it was Randy coming out for an RKO out of nowhere, but we had Samoa Joe taking it, crossing some lines maybe?
They're really liking these Impact guys, aren't they?
They like to mesh them together too, if you haven't noticed, because like Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley are a thing.
McIntyre, Bobby Lashley,
Impact boys.
I totally forgot about Drew being on Impact.
Kurt Angle and Drew had a match.
Yeah,
they like to.
They had Joe and AJ. They had Hardy and Joe.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't know much about Impact. We talked about that before, but I'm more of just a Scarlett Boudreaux fan.
But did you see that promo at all, Will? This Samoa Joe coming out with Jeff Hardy?
Yeah. Joe's promo is, honestly, in my opinion, the best in the company.
Yeah. Him and Owens would be probably the best.
Owens is great.
Battle.
Or
the two of them together against two baby faces.
I like
they're different styles, in my opinion. They're both great, but they're different. Owens comes out and he talks like he's talking naturally. Joe comes out and he's intimidating.
But I almost think he screams a little bit too much. Like, because it's like if you were to just talk like this, people fucking listen. You know what I mean? Like, if he were to tone it down a little bit, I feel like people would have to, like, put their ear to the floor a little more and have to listen a little bit more. Ziggler used to do it a lot more than he does now. He used to come out and just fucking grab the mic and scream for 5 minutes. And now he comes out and talks, but not that I think he's a shitty promo. I just think maybe lower your voice a little bit, keep where you're at. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Slow it down, maybe turn down the volume a bit just to really drive that point home.
Exactly, yeah. It's not that I think he's bad. You don't need to scream, Joe.
It's not that. It's not that. Whoa! It's that. Whoa.
Yeah, like you're intimidating maybe without yelling at us, kind of thing.
Be more intimidating if you could win some matches too.
Yeah, Don, you want to talk much about that, or?
Well, I just think like that was the whole thing. Like when it was, because we like when this segment started, like I didn't know whether Jeff Hardy was going to retire or what until he said that. I'm not retiring. Don't think that. Blah blah. And then we had Joe come, and I'm like, okay, well, interesting, because he's just everything I've seen him in. Like I don't even think we touched on that before, but at Survivor Series, wasn't he out in like the opening minute?
We didn't talk about it on this show. We talked about it on last week or the week before, but whenever the show kind of post Survivor Series
all the
was,
losses,
like 5 seconds, he was done.
Yeah, all the losses to AJ. Like it's just
has
like,
he
why
won
do
a
I
feud?
believe you? Why do I believe what you're saying right now? You know what I mean? That's how
the biggest thing, if you want to talk about believing what he was saying, he literally came out and said he was talking about how the fact that he hasn't been given chances. It's like you literally were given 2 title opportunities against
you had a
the
match against Brock Lesnar
and AJ. How many? Like you fought AJ like twice for the title.
Yeah.
So don't like. I like Joe, but it's like you're not. What do you mean? Like I don't know. You've been given chances. Don't come out and say you haven't been given chances. It's
just like it's just maybe this is it though. I could see Jeff Hardy being the guy to help put him over or something. Yeah. But still, it's just like I feel like they don't. He's just kind of there. It's weird, and I almost don't know if like maybe changing his character up a little bit is the answer, because
in what way?
Like he could be a face.
He could. I want to see him do more of like keep the heel stuff, but maybe go more corporate. Like, has he already done that? I feel like we've seen him in a suit once.
To a sense, a little bit. Like when he first came in, and like when he first came in with Triple H, he did a little bit of that.
Because I want that. Yeah. I want suited up Joe and doing shit that's just trying to brown nose.
Main Event Mafia and TNA.
I didn't see. I'm not a big TNA. Like, I only watch TNA like Kurt Angle and like AJ, Christopher Daniels, and Joe, like way back.
Well, basically, I guess a quick recap. It was basically all the old veteran guys. You had Sting, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett, all the old guys who used to be at the top of the card.
Yeah.
They didn't like how young guys were getting pushed to the top of the card, so they said, nope, we're locking down every championship.
So they won them all? That's actually...
They won them all, and then eventually they added Joe to their thing, but Joe's a new guy, so...
And did he, like, turn on them and take the title from
I didn't watch
leader?
that much. All I know is that they added Joe, and the entire thing went to shit.
But hopefully not because of Joe.
No, I don't think it was because of Joe. I think it was just the fact that we don't like these new guys. Let's add this new guy.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense. That's a good point. But, yeah, so let's hope Joe can, I don't know, do more.
Yeah, seriously. What else? We got a good... AJ's promo was decent on SmackDown.
Yeah, I actually
like
did.
that.
I didn't have that written down, but you're right. That promo was good, and I liked his new shirt and gear.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if I
neon.
would buy the shirt, but I like the color change with the neon and black rather than the blue. I like the baby blue. That was probably my favorite that he's done so far.
I like the red and white.
The red and white was good. So was the red and blue.
Yeah.
When he did that at Mania, and he was kind of like teasing people, like, "Am I going to Raw? Am I going to Raw after Mania, dude?" That's the way I was thinking, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. Do you want to talk about the promo at all, or just it was good?
No, I enjoyed it. I like the fact that they kept Daniel Bryan off of this too.
Same here, man. I was so that's what I was talking about earlier. We don't need the champ every week just because he's a champ.
Yeah.
We don't need to see him every single time. And I really like that, like, they're playing this new Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's just me or if I heard somewhere else, but I feel like anytime somebody says Daniel Bryan, they say new Daniel Bryan. The new Daniel Bryan. That's like his name now. I'm serious. Not quite to the extent of greatest in the world, Shane McMahon, but...
Wasn't it like
best in the world?
Smackdown before this last one, he actually made the ring announcer guy say the new Daniel Bryan?
Yeah. I like where he's going. I don't know if we haven't talked to Will about this, but tell him your Kurt Cobain.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you think he looked like Kurt
Didn't
Cobain?
he look very grunge? Daniel Bryan? He had that very grunge look to him, almost like Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
They're making him look a lot more raggedy like they did when he was in the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
And he reminds me of, like, I don't know why, but he reminds me of, like, Joker vibes, man. Like, with his hair and the way he's, like, smiling and laughing. Like, Heath Ledger Joker kind of shit.
I wonder, and this is going to be weird, especially for WWE, are they going to do a storyline that he's gone heel and crazy because of all of his concussions?
That'd be good.
Well, the way that they're playing it now is because his mind is opened up because of the fucking hyperbaric chamber. So, yeah, maybe. In a sense, yeah. But I don't know. I like that whole story. We'll see where it goes with TLC. I'm pretty excited for that match. The only other thing that I had written down for SmackDown was, what the fuck is going on with Shane and Miz? Is Miz a heel? Is he a babyface? 1 week he's a heel, 1 week he's a babyface, and now he's fighting New Day.
Would you like to chime in there?
Like, I don't get it. I don't know what's happening.
I have a theory.
And I'm not, like, bashing. I'm just, like, I like Miz, and I don't mind Shane, and I was kind of hoping Miz and DB would eventually end up, like, in reverse roles, babyface and heel fighting for the belt, and I thought that would be cool, but I don't know what the fuck they're doing now.
At a loss for words, maybe?
Yeah, I'm at a loss
Okay, well,
for
my theory here is this. I was telling this to Nick, like, during SmackDown. I think that, because they're so, like, every second shit's switching. I think that, I don't know if we're going to necessarily get DB and Miz anymore. I was telling him. I feel like the ultimate end game here for WrestleMania Miz is going to be Miz and Shane McMahon fighting.
Best in the world? So who actually is?
Who's the best in the world, yes.
I don't know. I don't...
Like they'll probably team up.
It'll
and
probably
maybe
happen,
get
too.
get some victories going throughout.
Maybe, yeah.
Before then, they might even get the titles. Don't be fucking surprised if that happens. I'm telling you. Like, watch.
Like the tag titles?
Yeah, well, mark my word. Like, some shit I'm saying here, man, it's going to come to light.
Well, it's being recorded, so it's here.
Yeah. So, don't be surprised if maybe they get the fucking belts at the Rumble, have them for a month, lose them, and then eventually they go into Mania, fight each other. And just keep Miz a heel and keep Shane the babyface. Or maybe somehow this all leads to Miz turning into the face.
I heard that
But I think they've switched on that.
They had Shane win the best in the world because they wanted a heel McMahon, and because Stephanie isn't on Raw, they could actually have a heel McMahon, so they were going to put on SmackDown. But now that they're having this back and forth between him and Miz, I have no idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense. I don't know what
that would be a good way to go though. Like maybe if they did team and Shane was the one to be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
with Miz.
I'm best in the world.
Hey, I'm fine with that. And like that, if they're gonna do Miz and Shane at Mania, like you said, then do it like that. Change it up. I don't want to see heel Miz against babyface Shane. Like, it's just not interesting. Like that's just do that at Starrcade. Like
you wouldn't be excited if they won the tag belts and.
Well, no, like it's you know what that stuff wouldn't. But and I want to end the show soon because we're getting close to the end. But that wouldn't bug me as much. It's them fighting at Mania. Like I just really. Like really,
Shane's gonna be on Mania. It's Shane.
Oh,
McMahon.
it's yeah, and
he's gonna come out with his 18 kids again, all doing his dance.
Well, what's he done since he came back? He fought Undertaker and he fought AJ last year. I think we talked about.
He's been in every Survivor Series match.
He took the year off, so he could take another year off. He could not. Probably not. I mean, he is.
Well, no, I think he'll be in this one because I don't think we're gonna get Triple H because of his whole situation, right?
We'll see.
The pack.
I get it depending how bad it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think they want to do that Batista thing, man. Maybe they'll wait
if
though.
Triple H ain't good to go.
It's Triple H.
Are we gonna?
He's Triple H.
No, that pack looked nasty as fuck.
It did, but yeah, we'll see. I don't know. What were you gonna say there, Will?
I was gonna say I know it's not related to what we were just talking about, but
I was gonna say we can kind of move off of SmackDown, and if you have any last thoughts before we close her down.
Okay. Who do you think's gonna win the Royal Rumble? I'm gonna say Drew McIntyre.
That's a great pick.
Okay, wait. And where does he go from there? Does he stay on Raw?
He goes for Brock.
Yeah?
He goes for Brock.
Maybe Miz. And I still want Miz and Daniel Bryan, so maybe Miz wins and he shocks the world and he challenges Daniel Bryan as a babyface.
As a babyface?
Yeah. Because I almost said Randy Orton, but then I remembered he won 2 years ago, so he's not going to win.
Yeah.
If he wins again, he'd tie Stone Cold, wouldn't he?
3?
I think so.
Who's that? Sorry,
Randy.
Yeah.
Austin's
the only one, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. And I don't think they'd have Randy in another title match again 2 years ago. And he won the belt at Mania. That was pretty forgettable. Yeah. As you just made. But yeah, I don't know. Donovan,
the
anybody?
maggots in the ring and stuff. Honestly, man, I don't know. I got to think about this. Yeah, I'm not going to answer this on this week. I'll come back to that because I'm just thinking like, who? I don't know anybody who's really like I don't know, man. Everyone's kind of tied up and
yeah, I don't know. We can get back to it next week.
Yeah.
All I can say is it's been good having Will on.
I had one random theory before we cut out. It was just about that's
cut the music.
Yeah, please. Cut the music. That's a Rick Rude for all you guys out there. So fucking.
That was awesome.
No, you know, if Triple H isn't ready, man, I came up with this weird concoction in my head today, being a Batista fan.
I was just about to say, you still want your boy Batista, don't you?
Let Batista win the Rumble and let him fight DB and play off that shit. Because now Daniel Bryan's the heel. Now everyone loves Batista and people hate Daniel Bryan, and play off that shit from before and talk about that.
That'd be wild.
And have that be a thing because it'll be total roles are reversed.
I don't know if that would work though, because if people is like that happened with Roman, it came out last and first, or when like people hated Roman because he always came out last or would dominate in the Rumble. Mm-hmm. And even though people like Batista when he comes back, if he wins the Rumble again, people are gonna be like,
I don't know. I see both sides of that coin completely.
But hear this. Like what happened last time too was a lot of it had to do with the fact that people knew Batista was coming. If we don't know he's coming,
and he just comes out at number
like people are gonna
29 because we know who's gonna be 30.
People are gonna jump.
We didn't talk about that this week, but
yeah,
mixed match challenge.
It was just a random thing. I doubt something like that will happen. It's just some random shit I came up with in my head today.
No, it's a good idea.
Like, that'd be kind of cool.
I like it.
Yeah.
Like I said though, I see Will's point. I see both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd be behind that Daniel Bryan Batista.
Yeah, opposite.
If it ain't Miz. I don't know. But it's been good, guys. Thanks for coming on, Will.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. We'll definitely have you again, and
we'll get you on a look back.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. We'll definitely get you in here for a look back. You can have some contributions as to what pay-per-view we decide we want to look back at. But
all right.
Yeah, it's been fun. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter and Instagram, guys. Just like I always say, at PW Lookback. ProWrestlingLookback@gmail.com is any emails, kind of keeping it old school. I mean, you can send us DMs on the Twitter and Instagram as well. I have updated the website, finally. It's all good. Every episode, every show is up on the website, prowrestlinglookback.wordpress.com. If for some reason you would like to go there and watch the videos or listen to the shows other than YouTube, by all means do that. Check me out on Twitter as well, at SCELSA, Salsa. Star Wars, Formula 1, as always, same shit every show.
My Twitter is at New School Money.
All right, my Twitter, Lateral G, at LATERELG.
Give these guys a follow. Thanks for checking out the Roundtable, episode 14. I'm Nick.
I'm Will.
It's Donovan telling you to stay classy.